Exactly.
He was very fast.
Oh no! I need to show you a video of me doing stand-up badly because you showed one last time. And 3,
I tried to, but I was just so talented.
I know, yeah, you tried to.
Just like intangible red flag territory. Like he's not saying anything specific,
Interesting.
But like just as he's talking, you're like, do not be in a room alone with this man.
Yeah, 100%.
So we can all love each other. No.
All right, great. Okay, great. This is great. What about him is an intangible red flag? Is it a way he appears, way he talks, hand gestures?
Do you know what the word intangible means?
All right, I'm gonna go have a piss.
Ashley, you're in charge.
I'm in charge. Bitches.
I went down on a juicy poozy, and
got a fart, and this chair's gonna make it reverberate. Hey, wait! Hey!
Oh no! Everybody else,
Hey!
What's going on? I'm just waiting for music. I thought you were getting music. Oh, I thought you were just getting
how
music.
my penis gets born.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Here's a shed.
The ice cream cones came with a little metal packet that is just full of sugar. It's just full of sugar to be poured into the cones.
I got what has the Japanese not gotten a hold of, perfected, and then when everyone was like, "You did it," they went, "And now we'll begin." And you're like, "No! You fixed it. It was fixed. Do not break it." Like, no. We got to break this.
I still have some more questions.
Go ahead.
John Hastings is on America's Got Talent for 5 minutes, and now he's got houses in LA and London.
That's right.
Yeah.
You kept a house in London?
Yeah, I've kept a house in London.
Update: not sugar.
There's no fluid tasting enough to warrant sucking it out of him. Yeah. No, but it was. Did he do it when he was then in the band when they were the 4 Bee Gees that brief time before then his heart exploded?
Wow.
I'm not saying anything that didn't happen. That is what happened to him.
I'm a predator.
And it was going awesome. And we even started having drinks at a bar, and we each had girlfriends with us, whatever. We're having a great time until I got comfortable enough to go, hey, we share a birthday,
As someone who's been eternally single.
Go ahead. Is it your fault? Yes. No.
Stop tweeting after your dates, Ashley. Stop tweeting after your dates.
Oh, bad news, Paul. You're getting a Batman bed.
This is not bad news. I am so pleased.
Support them.
But you know what's more important than helping people's mental health?
Fuck you, John.
I'm just saying. Tom, you're a comedy fan.
Here's what happened. So I came up after she finished a couple times.
How did you
I'm not one's not enough.
What a
you go for 2. That's how you start it out.
Smoother crunches.
And then Jesus, boom. And so so when I emerged, I went to kiss her, and she just grabbed my face and she sucked it all out of my beard.
So hurtful.
That's a literary reference. Oh no, I gotta.
Hey, he can't tie me out now. I'm the only one here. Books, pages. Right. Verb, noun, adjective. Nice. Someone get me that.
I'm very prone to bullying.
No, you're talking about Andy Gibb.
I am talking about Andy Gibb. Pardon me.
Get your Gibbs straight if you want to come at me, bro.
Sorry.
Those nice bearded men and their Aryan friends seem like they're doing very different shows.
Mariolene's got pink eye. She touched her nose.
I tried to. It crawled away too quickly.
It's difficult with tea. Sometimes you try and tune it and you get Assam.
I'm officially declaring it. Jordan is the governor general of this stream.
God damn it, guys. I took a Ritalin today. I can only focus on one thing at a time.
What is happening right now? screens. I want to have two screens.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah. Paul and I were walking through the park, and we walked past the tennis courts. A ball had gone over the fence. Paul went down, grabbed it, threw it over, and the young woman who was playing said, "Thank you, sir."
Oh,
ouch!
Right, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna fucking take over this fucking festival, and you're not gonna fucking stop me. Why? All these fucking robots are all around the fucking city, right?
Yeah, don't knock a spit roast till you try it.
Just hang on. Can you just keep going? Make an appeal right now for us to stop this whole thing. Go ahead, Tom.
I think we should see Paul's face for this. There's going to be tears.
No, your junk in the trunk is not as prominent. Make the camera go lower now. Jesus. Now bounce your bottom, sir.
What are we doing?
Having a nice time. So let's watch
That's
it one more
Betty
time.
Crease's Jamaican for poop shoot.
So I'm on the toilet. The toilet paper's here. I grab some of the toilet paper. I stand up. I turn around.
Whoa!
No. A whole lot of the world can get it right round itself if I have a bomb on bed.
There you go, buddy. There you go.
What was Tom talking
Whoa!
about?
Whoa!
Go, Matt.
What happened?
Go, Matt.
The bed is what?
He did it.
Richard Ball, we're over. I want people to be saying, Michael, is that a beard? And I can say, no, shit residue from the kink I enjoy participating. I was moving into position right to blast away on her chest, and I slipped on the sheets and accidentally punched her in the face, and then.
Oh no, the Canadians are coming.
Chris, John, and Irish Ashley combine to make the ultimate team, better than any wet dream. Welcome to the Untitled Twitch stream. John's the CEO and Boomer. Ashley's the real leader. Chris brings the vibes and juices as our enjoyment increases. Welcome to the Untitled Twitch stream.
Not muted. Hey.
Actually,
John's muted. Okay.
I'm not. Am I?
I thought you were. You're good. You're good.
Oh, I'm
I
not.
was muted.
Ah.
I was muted.
Chris, your mic is, I think, sent to the wrong mic because it sounds like it's the ambience of your entire room.
Oh,
It
you know
is,
what that'll
yeah.
be? That'll be the guy mowing the lawn outside.
Yeah.
I'll go check.
No,
No?
it's still the wrong mic.
It's still the wrong mic.
He changed.
Does he have a mic?
Of a
Did you-
bitch.
There we
Son
go.
of a bitch.
That's
I
better.
had it and it disconnected like a
I would like to
son
know,
of a
by the
bitch.
way, in the chat.
This happened during my
Excuse me?
daytime stream today. This happened during the afternoon stream.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna need a lot of context for that one.
There wasn't much. I didn't think he'd jump in straight away, but it was something sex positive.
Okay.
And then he said, any hole's a goal, is in like, come on, boys, any hole's a goal. GSA.
I'm going to say this about Beardy Noise. Beardy Noise, when it comes to the chat, he's going to throw you a curveball. He was threatening me with penis graffiti. I think it was his penis if my album wasn't up to snuff. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, available on all streaming services now. Please go see it. I appeared on the Irish If Your podcast, where this very program got many a shout out.
Ooh,
He said
I'm
you
gonna
could
have to listen
find
to that.
the podcast on twitch.tv/Untitled Twitch stream. And I was like, Mike, is it on Tidal? It is. It's on Tidal. It's on Telegraph. It's on Brick.
I've never heard of any of these platforms.
Slurp. Nitro.
Nitro on Monday Night Nitro?
Yeah. It's on Hate Crime.
On TNT?
Aw. Thanks, Beardy Noise. Appster, of course. I missed
LimeWire?
the show live yesterday because it's on LimeWire. I wish.
Fucking
it's on
LimeWire.
Soul Sick.
Yeah. Lots of great spots.
It's a 10 countdown salute, Alex, or Ashley. Fuck, if Alex isn't here anymore, what name? Now I just sound like an insane person. Ashley Manning, how do you start a 10 countdown salute?
I don't know. Oh no! No, I walked right into that. I knew there was something. There was a beat I was missing.
You're like literally. I fucking knew it. Like,
Kimmers was listening to the podcast, and she said that happened in the first 10 minutes of the launch. Within 10 minutes, the Hype Train song was born. And it was just 8 hours.
Do you understand? Walk in this door for the song, Ashley. Ashley walks right in. And it was still funny. I explained it to someone who came into the chat in the middle of us doing that and went, what was that? And then I had to explain it all. And in the explanation, I started laughing because I pictured Ashley's face
so
of
angry.
Rage.
Oh.
Not even 10. Not even 10. About 7.5 minutes in. Great stuff.
But face of rage. That just reminds me when I was a kid.
Okay, before you continue, Chris, have you ever heard a story start like that? Speaking of face of rage, when I was a kid.
And then that moment as she filters all the stuff out that she doesn't want on the stream.
Yeah.
Just a pause for reflection as you're like, not that.
That's exactly what that was.
Here we go.
Actually, you better not be using the pause for reflection if you are against the Hype Train song.
Hey, pausing for reflection is not something you invented.
No, the Hype Train song invented it was born out of the Hype Train song. The Hype Train song invented itself.
Yeah. And then it created the Big Bang, so it would have a purpose for itself. It then lay dormant until the post-COVID era when these people needed to laugh. And there's only one way to laugh, and that's when they the first person.
You know what? You don't get my story anymore.
Perfect.
No, actually, don't do that.
Someone definitely died in the story.
Nobody died in the story.
Kimmers, you have no. I pulled for the first time ever, and we will get to that in a second. I pulled.
Sorry,
gigs.
you pulled?
I pulled gigs. No, I continue.
Okay.
My virginity
Me too.
continues. Yay! For what?
I told you.
Oh no, you got gigs. I pulled this, and I had gigs last night. And
canceled. Sorry, I totally misunderstood the meaning of pull.
By the way, can you hear that in the background?
Because we switched the microphones.
Good. It's so loud.
It is slightly there, but it's not that loud.
Yeah,
for
like
us.
it's
you
like
know what? Shut up, Ashley.
It's an
I don't.
ambient. Whoa!
John just said he can't hear it. I want positive reinforcement.
If anyone wants to know what it's like when privilege meets reality, that's what it was right there. That's what it is right there. That is male privilege meeting reality. And you can
I'm reality now.
Yes. Yeah, you
I'm
didn't know
just
this.
Cold hard truth, Ashley.
Ashley, did you not know that about that is
DHTA.
The white women are the bridge between reality and straight white men. Like they are
yeah.
I don't know, because they got 1 foot in our lack of reality.
That's why they're the bridge.
Exactly,
That's why they're the
bridge.
They're not the full reality. And then hip hop music is a canoe that's floating in the water underneath that some straight white men get in and go over to the shore, and then somehow the face of rage is reality. Oh, I think we invented another bit. Ashley, is your next name going to be the face of rage?
Well, that's what I was going to say, was that when I was in school, these kids used to give me a hard time because obviously, and
too hot.
not in primary school.
Oh, fuck.
But they used to give me a hard time, but I used to get so annoyed by it that I would get like really angry, and they started calling they started anytime I would get annoyed by them teasing me, they would start saying oh no, we can see the vein on your forehead. And so every time then it would just be like, oh no, the vein, run away from the vein. That was like the teasing.
Yeah. Also, you have a very smooth forehead. I've never seen a vein pop out of it once.
I do have a smooth forehead.
And I use
a rose roller thing.
Of course, your skincare regime. It's like
what?
Elaine.
So intense.
Oh, what?
You've met a woman. They have these like little like marbly paint roller things, which you're
Yeah.
like, this is absolute hogwash, and then you use it on your
I
face,
have
and
a-
it feels traumatic.
It
Like
feels so good. You can like rub all of the stress out of your jawline. Like it's so good. I have
don't think I've
a
ever seen
rose stone one, a rose quartz one, and I have a stainless steel one. And the stainless steel one along your jawbone, it just feels so good. It goes really cold as well. It's great.
Then did they sing?
Oh, don't do it. Don't do it. I'll leave.
Vein song.
I'm just done. I'm done with that one now.
it's
Still
going
laughing.
nowhere.
Still
You
laughing.
do understand that is going nowhere? Do you understand, based on the fact of how this is set up, this year you have to pay taxes on money earned from a song you hate? Welcome to 2021.
Except I don't, because I've not earned enough money to pay any taxes on any of this yet. So
Oh yes. Well, wishful thinking.
Oh, yeah, I
maybe
forgot
next year is
we
the
don't tell
year
you
that
about
I
that part.
What?
In the other chat, we talk about the real money we make on this.
Yeah.
Selling drugs.
Mm. I'm the pusher man.
Yeah.
Bum, bum. I'm not gonna
I'm a
sing
cool
that song
drug
because
guy.
there's the second line of the first chorus has a word that I cannot sing along to unless I'm alone in a car, and then sometimes I chance it.
It was racial equality. Those are the words he can't sing
Ooh.
along to.
Yeah,
They
that's
really-
right. Yeah.
They hurt
Accepted.
his.
Yeah, just,
it's not.
and
It's
we're
not
accepted.
fraud.
No.
It's not fraud. In Scotland, you have to earn over $1,000 in a year to declare it as self-employment money. So
Is that
and I've
across
not-
the board, or is that with each element of self-employment?
I think it's with. I think it's with across the board.
Joe Trope coming in hard and fast with and fuck the tax manning. Oh,
Get it? Huh?
But yes, no. Speaking of rested, yesterday was a real dog dick of a day. Phil Jarrett died. I took that way harder than I was sort of expecting for a guy I hadn't talked to. I didn't really talk to him through COVID. I talked to him a little bit before that. I knew he was sick, all of that sort of stuff. And it was just the first time. And Chris, Ashley, I don't know if you've had this, but it was the first time where it was like, it felt like death was coming to my age group for the first time. I don't know, Phil or Chris, what your reaction to, but I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah,
I
it
had that
was
when I was
brutal.
23.
Wait, how old are you now?
37.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be like 23. Psych.
Yeah, I'm 22 and a half.
Nine.
Yeah, it's a fucking nightmare the first time it happens. It's horrific and it haunts you. Yeah, no, Omar. I mean, Omar bummed me out, but no, Phil really fucked with me. Phil was the greatest.
He
The absolute.
top 5 hardest I've ever seen someone kill was that guy at the your Pleasance Reserve auditions. You remember how hard he?
Yeah, he was the day
moved-
before me, but yeah, I didn't see it, but I heard about it.
He moved the building. It was so fucking crazy, and it was just a very emotional thing. So I pulled for the first time ever. I pulled gigs.
Wow.
And
By the way, he says for the first time ever. I need the chat to understand. Literally the first time ever.
Yeah.
John does not lose gigs. John puts on more gigs and then lies to people about being able to make it to those gigs on time.
Oh, and by the way,
that's
and
John.
do you understand how many times they have fallen for that? Do you understand?
It's
by
crazy.
the way, and I'll say it right now, if you're a promoter and you get a text that I am 5 minutes away, I am so much further. I have texted that, and I was technically not in the city.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
No,
John
I
is
must
a
have
liar.
had. I must have had such a like good side of that with you though, because you were always just across the road. I knew where you were.
You lucked out. Oh my god, guys, we finally.
Oh my
Finally.
god,
Big
it's our
follows.
first one.
It's time. Let's get famous.
Yeah, look famous. Let's get famous.
Famous.
Kirsten,
thank you so much for banning.
Thank you, Kirsten. I was
Big
bringing
follows.
Oh my god, we have 147 followers.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Shit, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Tell all your friends. Tell all your enemies. We like to get attention.
Yeah. Wait, is it big? But wait, guys, we may have just missed out because if he was promising big follows.
Yeah.
We probably should have taken him up on that, huh?
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh well. John has muted himself.
John has muted himself. I remember the first time I saw Phil Jarrett do stand-up was after I got the Pleasance Reserve, and then I went down to the Brighton Fringe Festival because I was doing a show down there with my friend Paul Duncan McGarity, who's excellent, and everyone should check out. And I was like, I'm going to be on a show that's very important all summer with this guy that I've never met, and everyone says he's a killer. So do you want to go see his show? Because I want to see what it's going to be like. And part of me went excited, and part of me went like competitive, like, who is this fucking guy? And then he was so fucking funny and so like powerful on stage. He was a fucking force. That it was, I think maybe the only time I've ever been intimidated by another act, just watching them on stage. I was just like, what the hell am I gonna do? And then I was mad at him. And then he came back and he's like, are you Chris Metz? I was like, yeah. He's like, we're doing the reserve together. Thank you so much for coming. And was the sweetest man I've ever met in my life.
Nice.
And then I was like, oh, well, now I'm just looking forward to gigging with this murderer. Now it's just going to be great.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Ashley. No, please go ahead.
I was just going to ask, the Pleasance Reserve, that's not a competition though, is it? It's a competition to get that spot, but once you're in the 4, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not, but also like before I went in, it sort of is because you're looking for like a good agent, you're looking for all these things, and so you want to see how you're going to stand out against the other acts and things like that.
Sure.
Or at least I am, but maybe I'm like a psycho.
No, it is sort of what it is. It was a weird thing. It also like depends on how people are approaching it. Some people go in and it's like their agent is bringing people into the show, so it's stuff like that. Like you just want to be kind of ready to go.
Yeah.
It was a real fun. It's a real odd.
You did it as well, did you?
I did the year before.
Yeah.
I hosted the audition.
I got knocked out without audition.
What do you mean?
Oh yeah.
They just didn't respond?
I sent in a clip. I applied for it.
I got to tell you, that one is like, you got to know Ryan, or in my case, what it was.
Think about who I lived with when I applied.
Oh, you do not understand how like the things people, I'm sure, the power that is exerted or people attempt to exert over him to get people on that show is crazy. Because it is.
I will say, that person wouldn't have done anything about that. So.
And even that person, I don't think like that person would have been like, yeah, I understand, but like, bigger acts end up at the Pleasance, and part of that is predicated on the fact you need to see these people. Like it's a whole thing. It was really. Sometimes thank you for
subscribing.
We all said it at the same time.
Yay! friends. Yeah, I mean, the only way I don't know how John got in, but the only way that I got my audition was because I was doing a Just for Laughs audition a couple weeks before the show, and my manager at the time, Emily, was talking to Ryan in the bar, and she was like, "You've got to see Chris. He'd be perfect for the reserve. You've got to watch him do this set." And Ryan was like, "Okay, fine." Just trying to like get rid of her. And then he didn't come in, and she stood at the back of the room and she watched the whole room, knew that he didn't come in. So as soon as I got off stage, she ran back down to the bar and was just like, "Chris just did a set. You didn't see him. So now you have to give him a spot in the competition because you missed that and it's not fair." And he went, "All right, fine, fair enough." And that's the only reason I got in.
Yeah. And she had good karma because I was an out of nowhere audition the year before, because he saw me at a JFL audition, wanted me to audition, and I did, and came out of nowhere, which they love. The Pleasance loves, because they go, we get to say, and he still gets to. He goes, we discovered X, Y, and Z on the thing. They literally have a list that they keep for the beginning of speeches, and so it's that sort of thing. Like it is so weirdly competitive. It's also that thing that no one tells you about that stuff when you start comedy, that I always think is,
what?
Shit,
what?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb here. Not tragic. Sad.
Sad.
Not tragic.
No, less surprising.
I mean,
Still,
I'm still sad about Phil. How did Phil die before Lynn Ruth? Lynn Ruth Miller was like 92.
Buddy. And out there doing it. She wasn't hiding.
She lapped him. Also, Brighton sounds like a dangerous. Brighton sounds like a dangerous town these days.
Damn. Is that where she lived? I thought she lived in North London.
No, I think she lived in Brighton.
Oh, she must have moved. I remember I was in a car. We dropped her off. I still have her sunglasses. She'll never get those back.
I mean, I don't think she was getting those back.
Oh.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead. What?
Ashley?
No, I'm saying that about her sunglasses. I just think that's quite bleak.
Yeah.
Well, it's true. She's dead. She doesn't need them in. She doesn't need them in the nothing.
I know, but it's just funny.
She doesn't need to adjust her sunglasses to realize death is the end.
Absolutely wild.
I mean, the joke is right there, and I'm going to make it, and I feel very bad, but I feel Lynn would understand, which is, she did die at 87. People thought she'd be dead at 81, but based on her stand-up, she always did like running the light. Hey, everybody!
Oh,
hello!
All right.
Hello!
Yeah. Hey.
Mr. Steve Mooney.
Comedy in her 70s.
Hey.
Yeah. There was one of my favorite things about pre-show listening to your album, which was killing, by the way. People were loving it.
Thank you.
Was how angry. I hope so. That would be very surprising and funny. But she has to tell us if she's pooping or vomiting. She's got to tell us. Or did she freeze? I think she froze.
No, I think she's throwing up out of the window. Yeah, I don't know if Ashley's okay. I think she's throwing up.
I think she
Ashley,
froze because nothing is moving.
There's one hair that's very still. I don't know if she's okay.
No, that's a wrap. That is. Ooh. Yeah, she's gone. But yeah, what I loved also was some of the viewers who were so angry at how good you are. They were like, "God damn it, he's so fucking good."
That's right. Have you ever
son of a
seen
bitch.
that's not yours and wonder where it came from? Ben Hall, this happened today. I had so basically I've been eating very healthy because I'm filming this dry bar special on Friday, and then yesterday I held a pizza festival. I literally just, a friend lives in the hills. I went and sat in their backyard. How was your throw up, by the way? Did you have a good throw up?
That's not what happened. The camera just froze out on me. Like, I left StreamYard and for some reason that picture was still there.
Oh, weird. Because you literally did that. This is what we got. We just saw just like this part.
No.
I didn't even do it.
No, because my Twitch, I still have the Twitch open and I could see that the screen was still there, but I fully left StreamYard.
Oh, weird.
I removed myself from the screen as well before I left. So
Weird.
That's really weird.
Weird.
Really, really weird.
Me and Shona couldn't understand how you could sound so charming while talking about shitting yourself.
That bit proves so many people wrong because I have such a bugaboo about people when it comes to like, oh shit, humor isn't funny. It's like, first of all, yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
You've never met
who's sounding charming while talking about shitting themselves?
Oh, John, during his album.
And,
listened to his
Ashley,
album.
Let's also assume, Ashley Manning, you have that ability as well, based on the fact that you do need to sound. You do need to tell the story of you passing out in an IKEA bathroom because your shit was so bad. That is one of the best stories ever.
That's going to be a closing bit. She's gone again. What happened? What happened?
I don't.
John,
where did you go?
Booted me out.
Yeah.
I didn't
go anywhere that time.
This fell onto. I didn't think a part of my keyboard that had any power. It's also how I've discovered that occasionally, if you guys ever see my eyes go like this, it's because I've touched a part of my laptop, which is the sensor for when the thing goes down. And for some reason, it just thinks there's like a way I can put my hand that it just thinks and so everything is still open, but everything just goes black for a bit. And I just sit here being like,
you passed comment that Pleasance Reserve is just one of those things that people don't tell you about comedy, and that's just so much my life. Like I've come into comedy as such a complete nobody. Like I'm learning every single tiny little thing as I go along, and it's so weird.
Like the comedy is much like sex ed in the 90s.
Yeah.
Everyone giving you business advice about it is basing it off of their own experience, and it could be so fucking like Jack Whitehall's experience of the British comedy circuit is meet Hannah Chambers, and then everything you just become famous. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there was and it's so crazy now. There was a time in that country, and I saw the end of it at the Tony 12 Edinburgh Festival, where there were people that no one talks about that they just pretended were famous, were on a bunch of TV shows, and have been fucked over because it was like, it didn't work, see you later. And it's like, these poor bastards just think it's gonna happen.
I'm picturing two in my mind right now.
Oh yeah.
And I remember thinking like, what happened to them? And people go, oh yeah, never again. That was a wrap. Like, just on everything. I'm going to put one in the private chat. John, you tell me if this is one of the people you're thinking.
Because I got a list in my head too. Oh my God.
So I started comedy with very much this attitude of like, I'm going to do this my way. And I think that's kind I have no idea who that person is.
Exactly.
Okay.
This one, every single show when I moved over there, every show.
The one that was crazy is Joel Dommett. They tried to force down everyone's throats. It didn't take. Then his delicious fat cock ended up in that wank video, and kaboom, fame, here we come.
Yep.
It was him. Also, no one talks about Joel Dommett was the final nail in the coffin of the Free Fringe being legitimate, because he did the ballroom, and every agent had to go see him because he was getting 500 people lining up every day to go in to see it. Yeah, like it was insanity. Yeah, Beardy Noise. You were one of the people I had in mind for this. Now, you ethically need to be aware.
Yeah. He did not consent to this.
He did not consent to it.
He got bamboozled.
Yes, he did. He was a real victim of Melarkay.
Yeah.
But he has then gone on to reference it in every bit of stand-up down onto that.
That's the best way you can deal with it. Oh my God. But, oh God.
What's so crazy about?
Why did he have it on his computer?
Here's my question: the amount of people I know that watched the whole video it's shocking.
Ew, I couldn't. No. I find that so fucked.
Yeah, no, I never watched it. I remember the day it came out and standing in the back of Top Secret, when everyone would be like, "Did you see Joel's fat cock?"
Oh my God!
Like, nope. Should I have? And they're like, "You got to see it." And they're like, trying to pull out their phone.
Ew.
I'm set. Thanks, big guy.
He searched Joel Dommett, and I think it's right there. All I just remember someone showed me a screen grab, and I said the most embarrassing part of this is I could see two of his Edinburgh posters framed behind him. Which right? Thank you, Ashley.
So funny.
It's so good.
It's very funny.
I'd rather watch Joe play with nunchucks. Yeah, but the nunchucks are not nearly as thick as that. 90%. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, Jack Whitehall does that. It's also the reason why it's not even his dad's connections. Is if your parent is in show business, you have no intimidation in show business, and also you know how the system works, because no one fucking tells anyone.
Tips. Like I when I started doing comedy, I was living in Clonakilty, rural Ireland, 4.5 hours away from Dublin. Like, just absolutely in the sticks. I had to travel an hour.
Wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. You can be 4 hours away from Dublin and not in the ocean?
Yeah.
On a
bicycle? You can be 8 hours away from Dublin
a horse?
and not in the ocean.
Where?
End of Kerry. Like the tail end of Kerry. It will take you 8 hours because there's not motorway.
Yeah, that's okay.
There's motorway. Yeah. There's motorway for about 3 hours outside of Dublin, and then you're on country roads.
Yeah.
Is this why? And again, we are 36 minutes in. We started this line of conversation to talk about Phil Jarrett, who I miss terribly.
Oh yeah, sorry.
All of that sort of stuff. That's totally fine. What I love is
I'm
now about to.
Now look where we are. Now look where we are.
I think I saw that, Sean. I will not go to Leitrim. I think I saw this show in preview.
He was working it out to see if the paintbrush up your cock hole is a keeper.
I'll never forget one of his best bits is that bit where he has the confetti cannon with the thing and he gives it to an audience member and then it fires off at an inopportune moment. And I remember him explaining that bit. And one of the times I've been sometimes very right in show business and sometimes I've been very wrong. And that was one of the ones where I remember him explaining that bit and I just went, that doesn't sound fucking funny at all. And then you see it and you're like,
that's so weird. I did like 2 times a bit about a confetti cannon. But the thing was that I couldn't get it to go off. And then I would just reassure the audience.
Have you ever seen Joel Dommett's confetti cannon bit?
No.
It's great.
We're watching it right now.
It's great. I still think of him sometimes when I go to the beach and I just think, playa. John, you remember that bit?
Oh,
wait, it was something stupid about like playa, or unless you're Spanish and then you're just talking about the beach, playa. It was so dumb and it just came out of nowhere, like it had nothing to do with the rest of the bit. It made me laugh so hard.
That's great.
What's weird is the video I'm bringing up still ends up with us seeing his cock. It's weird.
That's not weird. That's everyone's got their strength.
Sweet. This is my confetti cannon.
Oh, I think I have seen this.
This is the button that sets it off, and it's very exciting. And you seem like a nice man. I'm going to give this to you, mate. Just set it off when you think it's the right time in the set, yeah? He's waggling his eyebrows. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, Beardy. He's a very handsome man. Have you seen him with his shirt off? Wild. He's in such good shape.
There's something that really annoys me, right? My dad, whenever I watch movies at home, he always has to pick the film. Always. And then
I know this bit.
in the middle of it anyway. And I'm just left watching a shit movie I didn't want to watch in the first place.
That's my brother. Just FYI.
This is what I always do with my dad.
I forgot this was Joel.
Watching a movie with someone who falls asleep, please do this. It's so brilliant.
I've told you that Mike Mayo also wrote this bit, and it's always bugged me.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Mayo, for those of you who don't know, is a comedian who at this point has been doing stand-up for 20 years. And it's just a perennial open micer in Montreal that I started with. And he had this bit, and it was his like one of 3 big bits he ever had that were quality.
It was that the toothpaste bit.
I'm sorry. It's like, okay, Dad.
And something else.
Don't worry. Don't watch the movie. Just watch the confusion happening on his face. It's so good. We were watching Castaway with Tom Hanks in it. I changed it to Philadelphia, right? Oh my God, how unlucky is this guy?
Do you remember back when Top Secret had incredible booking and you would get like Joel, Bobby Mayer, Benny Boot?
I will explain. I know exactly why that happened in a second. I can explain that once we get the payoff of this.
It's actually really lovely. My family at the moment, we've got a lot closer because my mum recently passed away. Right.
That guy is so happy with himself.
What
did John?
You know what I bet he did? He touched the thing on his laptop and everything just gone black.
Oh, John.
John. My goodness. Yeah, Joel's one of the few comics that got like real big real fast, and everybody I knew at least was so happy for him. Everybody was just like, you know what? You're a killer. You've been doing it right. You're such a nice guy. Go get it. This is amazing.
So nice.
Yeah.
So 2 thoughts on this. One, I was with him once at a Best of the Fest at the Underbelly. Tom Tuck's not here. And my friend Rebecca was in charge of setting that off. So how that bit worked is someone would be in the back just with a button and they knew the cue. And Rebecca had it very loosely in her hand. And all I kept trying to do, and I almost got it, was just, and I said to him, I said, if I get that before it, that thing is going off when I decide. Because he's like, this is the last time I'm ever doing it. And it had been the 5th time I'd heard him say that. And I went, no, now will be the last time you ever do it because it's going to go off in the middle of another bit. And Joel was very like, ha, 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 ha. And I was like, Joel, you do not understand. If she and she's very busy, is going to get distracted. And then I spent the entire time him on stage. I just said, Rebecca, do it now. Do it now. Come on, do it. It'd be so funny. And I went, he'll think I did it. So come on, do it. Do it. And she refused.
Oh, Rebecca.
Oh, good person, bad for fun. The reason
Classic
why Top Secret used to
Rebecca.
get it is expensive to do because those cartridges are like weirdly very expensive. Like a
They're
confetti
quite
cannon.
expensive, yeah.
Like a confetti cannon is like weirdly cheap, but where they get you is the cartridges.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like how a printer is $20 at this point, but an ink cartridge is $900.
Yeah.
Exactly worth it. So Top Secret Comedy Club in London, please go support them. They're the best comedy club in London except for the Comedy Store, or are they? That's how I feel. Their booking used to be this. If you could meet Mark, he would just give you all of the gigs because he just opened a club without knowing any comedians, which is why when I moved to London, their lineups weekly were me, Joel Dommett, Bobby Mayer, Luke Tolson, Benny Boot, Dane Baptiste, Jason Patterson, JoJo, who's the last name I can never remember, Robert White, Rialina.
Oh.
And that's about it. Because we were just the comedians that met Mark, and Mark just went fine. I used to, when I didn't have a gig on Saturday, would just walk into Top Secret, and I ended up getting a spot every time.
Wow. But it was fucking amazing because you go there and you'd be like, oh, everyone here is killing.
Yeah.
Everyone's killing. It was wild. It was a crazy, like, there was no other club where you could guarantee that in the UK.
And let's just say,
Everyone's killing.
hypothetically, you were looking to get booked on it now.
Ashley, drop me a line. I have very little pull in this industry. There is one place I can lift a phone. I can lift a phone, no problem.
Yeah. I'm not that guy. Mark confused me for someone else and then stopped booking me.
Yep, that's trouble.
Yep.
Oh dear.
Yep.
I mean, this is the other things that no one tell. Okay, here's some things. Anyone who is looking to be in stand-up comedy, here are some things you need to know. Comedy club owners have no connection to one another. They cannot influence their booking whatsoever. They will forget who you are. A. B. If you felt you haven't done well, act like you did well. A club owner is probably basing it off of your body language more than anything else.
Yeah.
3. If someone
don't give up on yourself halfway through your set. That's that's crucial mistake you learn to rule out very early on.
3, and this is I always think is a big one, is just ignore if they fucking come at you. If they're like, I'm not booking you again, just ignore that. Also, don't be worried about that threat, because if you're like me, every single person thus far who has threatened to never book me again, all out of business. I have outlasted them all. What the fuck's up?
Name names. They're all dead.
Noel Faulkner is my favorite one. You'll never work in this town again. I say that to you, Noel. Enjoy your boat, you fuck.
He does.
Yeah.
Yep.
Only man actively was a bad, just lie. I didn't care that he banned me. I didn't like that he lied about me all the time. That really bugged the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Junglers loved me. I got news for you. Junglers
I
loved
bet
me.
they did. Yeah.
London Comedy Store, never come back. 18 months later, why don't you try out? Why have you never tried out for this club? I was told I could never come back. By who? Dawn said that. And they this was my old manager, Emily, apparently was like, what? Like they could hear like hand over phone, like can he come back in May? And I remember being like, because I was in the office when she was like, what? Okay. And then pass. Because the thing with the Comedy Store, and I will give them respect ever, they're the only club that realized they were about to become irrelevant and immediately went, it felt like Dawn Ward walked into the office and went, I'm going to need some women. I'm going to need some Asians. I'm going to need some foreign. I need some youth, baby.
Yep.
And they opened it. It was fascinating.
Yeah,
so those are some things to learn. But yes, actually, any help you require in British comedy, please let me know.
I will do that.
Yes, yeah, of course. Oh my
no,
God.
I when I started doing, the one thing I said to myself was that I would never pester for gigs.
I hardly go the other way.
Well, it worked out really, really well for me. Because what I tried to do, and it sounds so wanky, and I'm so aware of it. Don't think that I don't have any illusions about how this sounds, but I tried to wait for people to hear of me first.
It's a bold strategy.
Yeah. I tried to create a situation where they could hear about me before I would ever approach them for a gig. And it just sort of fell in my lap a little bit. So like I was doing a few spots. Thankfully I knew a lot of comics before I started doing stand-up. So I was doing a couple of spots in Galway and in Cork. And from doing that, the first kind of gig that was like a slightly level up gig was that somebody recommended that I support Alison Spittle on her tour.
Great. That's for your purposes, that's the best news you could ever hear.
Exactly. So I got in touch with Alison and she was just like, yeah, come along, because she was coming to the town where I lived, Clonakilty. So she was like, yeah, come along and do a short spot on the night. And so I went and did that. And then because of that, clubs in Dublin were like, hey, we heard you did this. Come and do that. Like, and then I happened to meet the guy who runs one of the bigger clubs in Whelan's. And he was just like, yeah, there's an 8-month waiting list, but I'm going to put you on next week. But he happened to put me on to a big lineup because there's 2 different, venues in Whelan's. There's a small one that they normally run in, and then every now and then they get given the big 200-seater venue and go on.
Is the little room in Whelan's called Whelan's?
I'm going to proceed as if he didn't just say that.
Fair enough. I get that.
He's so happy with himself. So
oh, this is, by the way,
why do I find it more funny than I want to admit.
I know. Yes. That is how my comedy is oft described, by the way.
Yeah.
This is so fucking true because I will tell you, I am
so true.
I am a fucking asshole. Like I have responded to please stop emailing me with I will stop when you book me. I don't give a fuck. Like at a certain point I realized like what are you gonna do? I'm not playing your show anyway. So the difference is this. And
yeah.
But and I guarantee if Ashley did it, the words they would have used to describe it's ridiculous.
So that was so I ended up on their like bigger venue night, which was an this huge all-female lineup that got a lot of publicity. So that was quite nice. And then that particular gig just gave me all the gigs in Dublin, really. And then when I moved here, I was quite fortunate enough to end up living with the person that I lived with through a random spare room ad. I didn't know that person.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wow. That's how I ended up there. And so she put me on at the New Material night at her venue. And at that venue, somebody who worked for Monkey Barrel was there, and another comic was there who told the Stand to book me. And so I got those other 2 gigs without even sending them anything. So
amazing.
I've just been fortunate.
That's awesome.
Am I the only one that remembers the Comedy Shack that was briefly in Edinburgh?
Yes.
Where was it?
It was
As
off,
in you're the only one who remembers.
It was off Princess Street. It was only there at the Edinburgh Fringe of 2012. It was ran by Jojo Sutherland.
I came just after that.
Yeah, Nick Beaton did his show there, and we just partied a lot there. And sometimes switches. I was going to do this as well, but I just thought it was probably a bad idea. But allow me to give you the face. Look at this. This is really good content for the audio podcast, by the way. I want you guys all to know that I'm.
Oh, hi, podcast. Welcome to the Untitled Twitch stream.
Hi.
Podcast.
We're only 52 minutes in.
Thanks so much for joining us. It's Ashley Manning, John Hastings. I'm Chris Betts. Hope you've been enjoying the show.
Yeah.
Subscribe, rate.
Oh, and added extra bonus feature that you didn't get because you're an audio listener is that Chris pointed to the wrong direction when he pointed at me.
And I will continue to. I will forever do that, regardless of who's next to me.
It's mirrored and it's very irritating. The one other thing, here's my comment. This coming in from Steven CGR. And here's my comments, not for the listeners. Fuck you guys. That's not for you guys.
Not for you.
No, that's for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, who are listening on the audio podcast, if you want to watch this live every day, it's 2 to 4-ish PST.
10 p.m. to midnight
UK
British
time.
Summertime.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, are they going to lock down? Because Chris and I got some news of possibly a gig that Ashley was going
I
to
don't listen to the news.
I didn't think. Yeah, I tried to. I am such
I
a
talk
news
to you
junkie.
guys. You guys tell me everything I need to know about the world.
That's
now.
all you need to know.
Oh, yeah. No, we're full of info.
And anything really urgent, my dad will tell me.
Absolutely. Yeah, what's nice about this world being a nightmare also is it's not like in the 90s where the news was kind of like, this is macro, very big, but micro, there's no effects. Where now we've hit the point where it's like, why do you think climate change is real? Well, New Jersey had 2 hurricanes in 2 weeks. And they're like, yep, all right, something sounds, I'm going to say it. Something sounds up, everybody. Something sounds up. Yeah.
I don't think they will lock down. I think they're going to power through because they will have hit a certain number of vaccinations.
Yeah, they're at 80%, which Diamond Gazer just pointed out.
I feel like they're gonna say, you know, the really bad risk is down because the hospital admittance is less, the death rate is significantly less. They're just gonna say we've reached our limit now. We're going to ride this out.
Yeah, they're 41,000 a day, I think.
This is the thing that
but
scares me.
People aren't dying.
Yeah, this is the
As
thing.
much.
But I agree with everything that you're saying. But this is the point that Tet879 is making in the chat. I'm going to read it now for the audio podcast listener. They, being the British government, said there's no plans to lock down in October. So basically, lockdown is confirmed. I feel exactly the same way. Yeah.
I hope not because I have plans.
Yeah. I was messaging you about plans.
Yeah.
About fun Scottish comedy plans, everybody.
Yeah.
Exactly right, Joe Trope. And I want to eat in that Nando's with Ashley Manning, prove her wrong about how she feels about Nando's. Did we talk about Nando's?
Feelings about Nando's?
Who had the strong feelings about Nando's?
Did Kimmersby, I think.
It was Kimmer's. Yeah, that was the restaurant that hurt her.
I like Nando's.
Was that yesterday? That was
but
yesterday.
I have
during the
had
stream
bad
yesterday.
Nando's.
Oh, we've all had
that. Was yesterday.
My head was in a fog.
But I got my first birthday card yesterday.
Oh, when is your birthday officially so we can announce our birthday game and stream?
My birthday is the 28th of September, and I know that's like 3 weeks away, so it is a bit early to have opened my card, but I got the card and it said open this now. So
was it a bomb?
No, it's from my brother, and he's going to pay for me to come to Spain to see him. So,
hey, cool. That's awesome.
That's going to be nice.
It's lucky for
for your birthday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not for my birthday. Not like to be there on my birthday, but I think in October sometime.
But does that mean that then we can do a stream from Spain, which is when Chris and I can try out our Basque Spanish accent? España.
We can try. I'll be able to call in. I'll be able to call in, but I probably won't bring all of my stream gear with me. So it will depend upon whether or not. Because remember the last time I tried to call in on my phone, it wouldn't work. So it will just depend on that.
Yeah.
But I might try and get it working before I go. But also, they're another hour ahead of me. So
here's
what be 11 o'clock at night.
So here's what I envision.
But you'll be taking siestas.
Exactly, and you'll be having so much sangria because you're in.
I can't drink sangria; it will kill me.
Oh my god!
It has orange and wine in it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
No sangria
right.
for the gringo.
Oh.
They think you're a gringo.
Yeah, you're a gringo.
I
That's
love the
fine.
word gringo.
I completely agree. By the way, leave it to the Americans to be like, these fucking gringos. And they're like, what a lovely term for us. And they're like, God damn it.
Oh, dear.
I mean, goddamn, Sean Locke is funny, right?
Yeah.
That's good. I
He's
like
very
that.
good.
I'm going to
'Cause
say
I also
God's
like
putting
KFC a
together
lot.
quite a bit. Oh, who fucking doesn't?
That I don't eat much fast food, but KFC is the only one I will go for.
I have
tasty,
had it.
man.
I've had it twice since 2006. Because that was when I was a giant big boy.
Mm.
That was my real vice.
Ah.
I also
Fast
figured
food?
out.
Or just
no,
KFC?
I figured
Okay.
out the gravy would actually hold the weight of ketchup on top of it, so you could dip a piece of chicken ketchup through to the gravy.
Wow, like a
And
coating.
then I figured if you put a layer of salt on top of that, it salts it perfectly. So you just
Oh, wow, you're like a pastry chef.
don't fuck with me. I know how to taste.
I love it. Did you know they have They have Zinger popcorn chicken now?
No, God damn it! I want
Come
that
on.
very bad.
Come on.
That statement made me lose why?
Why?
Just
Yeah.
because KFC is the only fast food that I eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't eat it all the time, if that helps.
My friend says.
I get it like once or twice every couple of months.
This is an impossible thing to think.
Okay.
That is
I have a bunch of things.
That
okay.
is time out worthy. Like
That
go
is-
steady.
Okay.
Go steady, Tet.
I hear what you're saying. I'm gonna get to that. I just want to bring up Steve Mooney's comment.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Steve.
Oh, I didn't
yes,
see
COVID,
this.
yeah, COVID is not over. Please, everyone,
Oh
wear
no,
masks.
I wasn't saying that it's not over. I'm saying that this is the government's opinion, which is that they have a certain vaccination rate, they have a lower death rate and a lower hospital admittance rate, and they're going to say we're powering through.
Yeah.
Hell be
Yeah.
damned to everybody that will die as a result of this. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying COVID's over. I'm not saying people aren't still dying. I'm just saying that is what they're going to say.
100%. Second thing, and
What
then
is
we
it?
will get
currently
to Ted.
currently at 209 deaths per day. 900
anyone
hospital
speak
admittances
Spanish?
per day.
Canción del tren de bombo.
I have no idea. I've been learning Portuguese in lockdown, but I can't speak any Spanish.
I can't copy and paste.
played Age of Empires with my brother the other day. I played as the Portuguese people for the first time. I've never played the Portuguese people, and I was able to understand them. And I was like, "This is amazing." Why Portuguese? No idea. Genuinely, I kind of have fanciful notions of moving to Portugal at some point.
That's right.
That's basically it.
You're going to teach the sweet Portuguese children.
Also, can we? Okay, before can someone translate that, and then let's get to this absolute minefield. How have we talked for an hour?
I don't know.
Because we're less stressed than we have been
for fucking months. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm like, I will be here for some of the stream on
Wait,
Thursday, by the way. But what's that?
Sometimes Twitch is you think KFC is gross. I wanted to know why you lost respect for me. That was I needed to get an answer on that.
Who are we rating? No, we're doing another. We'll do more time. We're doing more time.
I have another hour.
Yeah. For best results, get Ashley to translate it. Ashley, can you
I
translate?
don't know. I said Portuguese, not Spanish.
Well, can you type? Just does anyone have the ability to copy and paste it?
Okay.
Yeah, I've got the channel open. I can do it.
Oh, thank you. And just
I think
into a
it's
translator.
Cancel.
Take a. I like, by the way, Patty Padman. Evidently speaks Portuguese, which totally the Patty Padman and his partner continue to just be some of the most interesting people out there.
I love them. I love them.
I'm still angry.
Fuck off, Steven. Fuck right off.
What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it?
No, I'm not telling you what it is. I'm not telling you what it is, and you're not allowed to Google it. Stop whatever you're searching right now. You're not allowed to know what it is.
I don't agree to any of it. I don't agree to any of that.
No, Steven, fuck you. I sincerely mean that so much.
Steven,
What
can you write
happened?
it out again so I can translate it? Because I can't.
I'm trying to find it.
No, you're not allowed. You're not allowed to look it up.
Yes, he is.
No. Just Stop it! I can
Oh,
see
there
that
it
you're
is.
both still
There
no.
it is.
Yeah, that's right. We're rule breakers.
This
I knew what one of those words was, and no.
Like we
I'm
don't have
just-
to. We don't have to
I'm gonna be
ban.
over-
We don't have to. Wait, what?
I
want to know what
it is.
I like he's now writing it out like it's the Hype Train song.
That's what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
Del tren.
Just stop bringing me back in against my will.
Oh, sorry. I thought no. I didn't mean to. It was just an impulse.
I'm leaving on purpose.
Oh fuck!
This happened to me too, Kimmers, and it did not click at all. It didn't click at all. That's so funny.
What a revolution, ladies and gentlemen. We have oh my god, very good stuff. Okay. Now enough of this poppycock and follow.
I'll right back. I need more water.
Actually, how is school going? It's been weeks. How is it? How are you enjoying it?
I'm in week 4 now.
Time to knock at the door.
What?
You're in week 4. Time to knock at the door.
That's a reference I don't get.
Got it? Can you answer the door, please?
Get this at all.
Please answer the door.
Is it just because it rhymes?
I mean, yeah, like this is a bit I'm inventing as we go, but I would like your help finishing it. It's week 4.
Who's there?
Education.
Education who?
Your education.
Oh, there's a mirror. Okay. No, that joke got way out of hand.
We'll get when Chris comes back, we'll do it again with him, I think.
Okay.
Time him the fuck out. You don't have enough channel points to do that yet. I have imputing.
We have
Chris,
channel points set up.
Oh, I don't know.
I'll have a look at that tomorrow, maybe.
Thank you.
It's further procrastination from my course.
Like that. My whole plan is to
I mean, it's
somehow-
fine. Tomorrow we're looking at mental health of students and how it's the responsibility of all adults in a student's life to look out for their well-being.
Oh. Can I just say this? Thus far, your master's in education is coming
It's
across so fucking
quite mind-blowing.
Like,
because it's basically in the past few years in Scotland, they've introduced something called the Curriculum for Excellence, and it is basically revisits the entire it revisits the entire education system as a way of fostering a healthier environment for children who deal with other issues outside of schools. Like it's a shift from education has traditionally always been subject-centered education, and it's shifting from that to child-centered education. Like, how best can I encourage this child to learn rather than how best can I teach this subject?
Are they adapting that to class sizes? Because that's a real class size dependent thing, right?
I don't really know yet. Like, I
many
haven't gotten into
fucking
it.
people in Scotland, Chris. Like, it's not like Canada. Like, there's like what?
It's honestly,
But it's in relation to how many
so-
schools they have. You could have, 150 kids in only one school. You're fucked.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be different depending on which area you're in as well. But it's really interesting. And like, yeah, it's all been learning about how best to make sure a child is in a safe, learnable environment rather than just
Thank
forcing a subject down their throat.
Fucking
It's very refreshing.
God, I will
Scotland's pretty much a front runner in this as well. Like, this isn't the case in England.
Of course not. Those fuck pigs are probably just too busy trying to human traffic their children because of, all the stuff Q has told us about. By the way, new stream, new political view. Surprise, we believe in QAnon. Yeah,
Chris and I do not endorse this.
So
The
we're just
storm
gonna
is
have two
coming,
hosts
bro.
now.
This is the stream now. John is no longer with us.
English schools are terrible, and I got a firsthand. I got a front row view of that
Really?
when Sadaf was tutoring English kids.
Shit. Okay.
Because they had no comprehension, basically,
Yeah.
and this was confirmed later by teachers that I talked to. They just have to teach that test that the government grades the school on. So everything is guided toward that. It's not about thinking; it's about getting the test right. And so they had like no sense of what it was to digest a text, to take it in, understand it, put it in your own words, contextualize it. Literally, like the concept was foreign to them. They knew the words that they were supposed to say in response. States is very similar. The English school system is a fucking mess.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not like Canada. This is me speaking personally. My time in the Canadian education system was a nightmare because I had a bunch of learning disabilities, and it was a real fucking crapshoot if the teacher believed me or not. Like I remember a geography teacher named Mr. Findlater. And by the way, if you're out there, Mr. Findlater, guess what you are? You're a cunt, and I hope you fucking are hurt, and I'm there to watch it, you fucking loser.
But to be fair, that's coming from a Q believer, so probably doesn't hurt that much.
Yeah.
He's a lizard pedophile. You'll see the truth. The Queen of England is going to put Hillary Clinton in Guantanamo Bay, and then JFK Jr. is going to reveal himself and become the super president.
Yeah,
and I know what you're thinking, John. Are you making any of that up? Nope. That's what people who believe in QAnon genuinely believe. Oh God, wouldn't it be nice if we taught people how to absorb a text? Do you see a connection, ladies and gentlemen?
He brought it back.
I can't believe it, but it is true. And it's, by the way, as someone who
that was one of the better examples of you starting something, not knowing where it was going, and actually ending up on your feet.
This is the problem with
Simone
me
Biles
is sometimes I make a mistake and it still works out, and that's not good for anyone.
No,
but what I will say was
dangerous.
the amount of times where I had to bring in a medical document from psychiatrists that proved my thing to a fucking high school was the nightmare. And I remember he said to me, he goes, well, I don't believe this. And I remember I had to go back. I had to tell my mom. My mom had to phone the principal. The principal had to then be like, okay, I had to meet with him and the teacher. And I had to sit there while a geography teacher read a PhD's essay on my issues. And then he still was like, I still don't believe it. And the principal's like, there's nothing we can do. But if you like grieve it, the grade, that can be a thing. So I just had to sit there and learn from someone who didn't believe what I had. And I remember on the last day, I threw his stapler and hole punch out the window. I just remember I was so frustrated. I threw that all out the window. And another kid said, should I throw his binder out? And I said, I'm not going to tell you to do that. That's too far. Needless to say, he hucked that out the window. And then the teacher came back and said, where is all of the of my stuff?
That's great.
And then he looked out and said, who threw this out the window? And there was only like 4 of us still left in the class. And he went, I'm going to figure out which one of you did this. He never came back, by the way.
No.
That is fucked.
Doesn't seem like very good at
I had
deductive reasoning, that guy. No worries.
I had that as well. I had a lot of teachers that didn't believe that I had gotten ill. And I'm like, I've literally been sent home from school because I've passed out. I've been passing out. I've been getting sick. I've been like everything in school, and they still couldn't believe that I had a physical illness. I had like doctor's notes, everything to tell them that I couldn't do my homework. I couldn't even hold a fucking pen for months, and they still couldn't believe that I was sick enough to not have to do my homework. It's just, it's ludicrous how teachers just think they're this divine power that you have to bow to.
Well, my problem is with teachers is the same problem I have with cops, is that one bad version of that
too hot.
Makes it, it's too sexy, Chris. It's just so fucking awful because it permeates throughout the entire thing. It's also like, I hate that phrase, those that can't do, teach.
Yeah.
I have a piece of material about that, by the way, featured on my 2018 Edinburgh show, released in 2021, Float Like a Butterfly, John Hastings Like a Bee, about the fact that why the fuck do we say, do you know how disrespectful it is those that can't do teach. Like, just think about that.
I think about that phrase all the time now that I am going to be that I'm training to be a teacher. Like, it's floating around my head, and I'm like, I fundamentally disagree with this, but I cannot get it out of my head.
Yeah,
teaching's one of the most noble professions.
Yeah,
when it's done right, it's fucking incredible, and one of the most important. It goes like plumbers, doctors, teachers.
I'm gonna say it.
Engineers,
Doctors are ahead of
strippers.
plumbers.
Oh, it's not.
Doctors are ahead of
This is
plumbers.
like just the five
these are
that
just
matter.
crew? Oh, yeah,
This
yeah.
is just That's everything else. We can take or leave. You need those. You can't have it without it. One of the
It's
craziest
weird.
things when I was in Thailand, they have a national day for teachers, and everyone gets involved. I was there when it happened, and it was like all the families bring gifts. There's a fucking parade. They clap for you. It's wild.
I do think I'm gonna try and do a year's teaching in either Japan or Vietnam or Thailand because they just worship teachers and they fucking love Western teachers as well. And I'm like the best kind of Western. I'm Irish, so like
You're not Canadian. Wait a minute, you're not
Canadian. Canadian with an Irish passport.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah, Chris has got pocket aces. I will one day be a Canadian with an American passport, which means there is one border. Oh, I can't wait for that. Yeah, I cannot wait. A Canadian passport and an American passport, I am bulletproof.
Yeah, but also I've heard so many good things about what it's like to go out and teach in those countries. And I've never been to Asian countries. I think it will probably be Japan or Vietnam. I mean, I got offered a job in Japan last year. And
Ohio.
I turned it down because it seemed a bit dodgy.
Yeah, that'll happen.
What was the job? What was the job?
It was a teaching job. It was a teaching job.
Was it called Taken Teaching?
Yeah.
No, I won't say what the company was called, but it was it was a teaching job.
Trafficking LLC.
Basically, any of the companies that say that they're going to pay for your food and board and flights and get you set up with your visa and all of this stuff, like they're doing that so that they can fully take advantage of you once they get you to that country. So
that makes sense. Yeah.
I just read all these reviews of the company that said they would send you off to teach in a school 4 hours away, and they would put you in classes that ended later than the last train you could get back to where you were based. So many people would just like end up sleeping in their classroom and stuff.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's bad. And I was just like, I'm trying to get out of being abused in jobs, so I think I'm going to pass up this opportunity. Then I started researching, like, okay, what do I need to do to not get really abused in workplaces? And I came across the degree that I'm doing now. And if I take this job, this degree, and I go to Japan by myself and I sort out my own visa and I look for this job in a private school, then I can get paid like a lot of money for a very nice job.
Sadaf keeps talking about doing that because she taught English as a second language for years at a school in London. And she keeps threatening to just be like, I might just go over to Japan for 6 months and just make all of the money.
Chris, do you know?
And she's like, do you want to come?
Yeah,
and I
why?
say, no.
Well, you don't want to go to Japan? I'll go to Japan with Sadaf. I'll be Sadaf. Ashley and I will be Sadaf's house people.
I would love to go to Japan, but I'm also at a point in stand-up where I feel like I just want to. I'm not done, but I'm not good enough to step away for that long. I'm at that middle bit where I can work, but I need to.
So you've also taken the longest COVID stand-up break. Ashley retired in COVID and has done more comedy than you have.
Yeah.
I was doing comedy. Ashley is either frozen or has witnessed a murder.
Frozen, fully frozen. Look right into her eyes, though. Look into her eyes.
Oh my God, this is
so creepy. It's so creepy.
This is literally like
because she's so engaged.
It's so engaged, so interested, and it's just one of those things where it's just like. It could be. This should be the album. This should be an album cover for sure.
Yeah. Ooh, it's so scary.
All right, let's just pop her down here. There we go.
Yeah, I love the idea of going to Japan, but by the way, came out the gates killing. Still got it. Better than ever.
No,
but
I know that's not true, and because I spoke to you right when it happened, and you did a lot of maybe they got a lot of that back on the mainland.
Yeah.
Is this on?
Yeah, I'm having a good time.
Oh,
but it's,
I would just like to describe thank you, Kirsten.
Okay. That's good modding right there.
Kirsten, by the way, we have some new mods joining us. Kirsten being one of them, Tiger being another one, and Baldy bringing up the rear to help bridge the gap. Since, as we mentioned at the top of the show, Alex has stepped away. Praise be, Alex Watson. Thank you so much for everything you've done. And Kirsten helping out with modding by telling me to audio describe what happened. What happened, ladies and gentlemen, is that Ashley froze completely, and then we brought it up on solo mode and looked at how engaged and intense her.
You did it.
We did.
Yeah. It was like
Oh.
uncanny
And I was
valley
about to say,
stuff.
and we looked at your beautiful blue eyes. A compliment for you.
Don't freeze again. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Do you know what it? Do you know what it is? I think
that
it's
would've been
because
so
I've
good.
been using my internet all day today doing college work, and I literally just went over to check my little, my little internet thingy,
No.
tiny little box.
Yep.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
shown
the
you
modem?
before
Yeah,
the
yeah.
tiny little
Yeah.
modem that I use for my internet.
Oh,
It is
yeah.
very hot. It's really quite overheating, so I think that's what's happening. It's just having a little meltdown. So I think tomorrow before the stream, I might have to give it a little break for an hour before, because I was literally reading an article whilst the stream was loading for my course. So I've been on it all day, and I think I've just pooped it out a little bit.
Aw. Good for you for working so hard, though.
Cook some eggs on it.
I have not gotten enough done.
Before
for sitting at my desk all day, I have not done enough for that time.
I love that I am not in school. I actually really enjoy a lot of especially university. I loved university. I still love that sink full of dirty dishes feeling where you're just like, the fucking reading. And you're just like, I don't.
I have so much reading, and it's
Chris is back. Okay, good.
I have so much reading, but
why don't we do it together on the stream now? Get your books. We'll help out study pals.
Yeah.
Chris, study group. It's a community. Shotgun being Joel McHale.
oh no, let me have a break though.
Chang.
You're who?
Chang.
You're Mr. Chang. Who are you? We're redoing Community, Ashley. Who do you want to be? You could be.
I've never seen Community.
Neither have I. So I'm just based on. That's why I said Joel McHale. Chris has Chang energy. That's
Now
true.
you're speaking my Changwage. You bets believe.
No.
Chang. Bets.
I think I'd like it.
You love it. It's great.
Who's in Community again?
Joel McHale. And let me
Joel
tell
McHale,
you see
Gillian
your shirt off a
Jacobs.
lot. And actually, look at my eyebrows.
Donald Glover, Jim Rash,
Look at the
Yvette
eyebrows.
Nicole Brown, Ken Jeong, Allison Brie,
Oh yeah.
and
This is not the show I
fuck is
thought
his
it
name?
was.
Were you
What
thinking
am
of
I-
Glow?
No,
that's-
I fucking hated Glow.
Thank you.
I couldn't get into it.
Were you
I think it's
also
Chevy
upset at
Chase.
how they represented that far more interesting story that actually existed within pro wrestling than creating the dramatized version that they did?
I
Because,
didn't
ladies and gentlemen,
know the real story, but I hated the whole thing. That it's the same production company that does Orange is the New Black, and I don't know what it is, but I just fucking hate how they do female characters.
I mean, Orange is the New Black. I have never seen a show being like, this is fun, to what the fuck? So cool. Like, I really enjoyed the first season or two, and then ugh. Actually,
I just
missed
thought
that.
it
That
was-
is true.
it's very
That
true.
is true.
It's very true.
I just didn't like either of those series. I give Orange is the New Black a good chance. And the only thing that ever made me kind of half chuckle was the American Pie reference in the first episode. That was it.
Don't even remember it. I'm sure I
Yeah,
got it
exactly.
at the time. Yeah.
But it was because the guy that she's married to in that is, or
The guy who
Jason,
fucked
her
the pies.
boyfriend is Jason, what's his face from
Biggs.
American Pie.
Yeah.
And there's a line where I don't know, I forget what it is she's trying to get him to support her with, but he's just like, and you supported me through all the sex video thing in high school, and it's a very subtle joke, and I thought it was very, very clever. But that was the only thing I ever appreciated about Orange is the New Black.
I'm absolutely on Tiger Tiger's side here. I thought Glow was fine. I didn't get
just
past the
thought
first
she was
episode
such
of
a
Orange is the New Black.
pathetic. The two main characters in both of those series are just pathetic. Like
What's also weird is, aren't they both written by women? Like it's one of those things where like
Yeah.
Sex in the City, it's like, oh, these women don't seem realistic. It's like that's true. They were written by dudes. They
Yeah,
don't
that's
have
fair
context
enough.
for it.
But that
I
I,
guess
think
for-
that's why it
but for-
pissed me off as well, is that they were
Yeah.
these female production company things, and well, I don't know if they were all female production companies, but
I don't know.
they
I
were
thought-
written by women.
I thought that like the Alison Brie's character, and I can never remember the blonde woman's name, but I thought that they had like a Karate Kid arc where they start off pathetic, and then through fight montages they become masters of their own lives.
No, but I should at least like them when they're pathetic.
Here's the thing with both of those shows, and Glow was with a lot of that sort of stuff. Is it's like stop trying to be acclaimed, just
Yeah.
make the show, and away we go. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I'm saying? Like they didn't Sopranos. What David Chase wasn't going, I'm gonna get to be the king of the universe. He was going, I need to write a show about my relationship with my mother. The only way I'm gonna be able to do that is if I set it in the mafia world, because no one gives a fuck about New Jersey.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Same with The Wire, Baltimore.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
just
weird.
didn't enjoy them.
I like the Baltimore that John Waters creates more than I like the Baltimore that The Wire creates. But let me just say this: another fucking death. Omar.
Yeah, man.
Omar. All fentanyl, ladies and
So
gentlemen.
sad. That hasn't been confirmed yet, has it?
Well,
Suspected overdose. I
it's
mean, he's
very
relapsed a few times in the last couple of years, but
it's yeah, that's what this is. The suspicion is, and it's so fucking scary. It's in the States now. It's been in Canada for 6 years. I'll never forget I said this yesterday. I'm going to say it again because it really lost respect for so many friends. They were literally giving blow at a Christmas party to a guy who does blow all the time to see if it had fentanyl in it. They'd wait 5 minutes and watch him, and then do it. And
that's like king shit. That's like, and not in the cool Jay-Z way.
Yeah.
No, in
like a Joe
medieval
Rule way.
Nero
ruler
way. Yeah.
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 Yeah, and Chris lives in British Columbia. Vancouver like ran out of ambulances one Christmas week because of
fucking
too many
wild, man.
overdoses. Yeah.
Yeah, it killed a lot of people in Vancouver. It was an epidemic. It was everyone knew. Like we've had a whole street full of addicts my whole life.
Yeah,
it's called East Hastings. It's always been there. I've known about it since I was a kid, and no one really cared. Everyone just sort of left it until the Olympics hit, and then we moved them all out into the woods, and then the Olympics stopped and they came back. But when fentanyl hit, people cared all of a sudden. That's how fucking deadly this stuff is. It was like just a scythe cutting through the community. It's fucking wild, man.
Does anyone remember, and I keep saying this, remember what we thought were problems? And like, I genuinely remember people being like, you know what? Enough of this kale talk, and bacon's on too many things. And now it's literally, it's like, yeah, teaching about $2 fentanyl test strips and new deaths. Like so I got, as we all know, had bone death earlier this year, or attempted bone death. And so I got Oxycontin, and they gave me a resuscitation kit for an opioid overdose. So basically, all it is an adrenaline shot someone gives you that basically opens up everything enough for an ambulance to get there and hopefully get to a hospital fast enough so you don't get brain dead. You're not brain dead. But and I was like, well, what happens if I'm alone? And then they were like, you're dead. And then I was like, well, what happens if the ambulance, it takes 15 minutes? And they're like, you're dead. Like this. And I was like,
Christ.
Oh, cool. Can't wait to take some of these pills. Where's the Sackler family? They're fine. But this is the situation we're living in. Like, there's just like, can we also, when it comes to reaping what we sow, why does it all have to be this year? Like, it feels like 2020 was, it's like, you know what? The chickens are coming home. And it's like, no, but not all the chickens. And they're like, no. All of them at the same time.
I saw a tweet the other day that made me laugh that just said, I miss when the weather was small talk.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good tweet. Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest things we used to do to the planet was leave the water running while we brushed our teeth.
Oh my God.
Remember when that was like a huge deal?
Yeah. I do. I absolutely remember. It was
It was such a big deal for a while. Everybody would just like, you can't leave the tap running while you brush your teeth. You can't. It's such a waste of water.
I mean, I remember, and bear in mind, this was at the public school that I went to where the person that taught computers also taught us cursive writing, an irony that I never stop enjoying.
That's good.
But I remember being told by the science teacher, well, once we stop using styrofoam, everything will reset, because the problem with styrofoam is it gets in the ocean and it just floats. So it can't be taken out by the tides. And I was like, wow. What?
That's crazy.
I remember that. I remember being 8. No, I was 12 years old and thinking, Mr. McGinn, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
Remember when we were really little and acid rain? Ashley, you won't remember
Yeah.
this, but like John, when acid rain was it, and it was like, wait, it's raining acid? And they were
I
like,
don't remember
yeah,
it
but
happening, but
that
I
just
remember
happens.
people
Don't worry
talking
it.
about
And they
it.
were like, it's just acid rain. It's not a problem.
Yeah,
It's just raining down from the sky, and it's acid.
But they were like, and I remember being like, wait, is that going
These
to
fucking hippies.
corrosive? And I was like, no, it's a different type of acid. And I remember people were like, well, if it's not corrosive. And then I remember being like, wait, there's different types of acid? But that if the thing is corrosive, that's acid. Then other things that are acid should just be called like smeggly booze. Like that you can't. It would
Do
be
you
like
know-
no, I don't. Here's the answer to your next question. No, and I refuse to know. People have told me, and no, I don't. Go ahead.
What?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know either.
Do you know that? Well, you must know that women's vaginas have a pH balance.
Of course.
And so
I follow
that
Jennifer
means-
Gunther on Twitter.
Yeah. I
so
use
that
one of those
means
pH
that
balanced
sometimes
kits.
our vaginas are acidic.
What?
And
When the balance is off.
a lot of people, actually, it doesn't even have to be that the balance is off, but a lot of people will, you'll end up with bleached patches of your underwear, because your vagina will bleach your
Yeah.
underwear.
I always recommend that women do a little squat and some baking soda. And balance
I
that
have
out.
never done that.
Yeah, just a little boop. Just
Yeah,
little, just drop it like it's
Well,
acidic.
it starts with a boof and then ends with a.
I have thankfully not had too many issues with my pH balance.
Does anyone else remember when? And this might be a very specific to Ottawa, Ontario, Canada thing, but and as I'm saying it, I think it definitely is. Which is we had all of these blue public pools in all of the parks, and they were just literally they were essentially just what is now where you'd go skateboard, but it's just literally a concrete hole painted blue that they would just fill with water from a hose, and then literally with a measuring cup, just like chlorine. And every 30 minutes,
stir.
You're joking, but essentially then one lifeguard would wade in a like smock with the thing and like drop a bunch of chlorine, do like a spin around with his leg, and then like check it 3 times.
Funny.
And like looking back, I was like, how did we all not get chemical burns? And then I was just like, oh, I remember I remember being put in a long sleeve shirt and shorts and being like, yeah, why is this for the sun? And my mom's like, and the chlorine. And it was like, yeah, like let's not have this directly on your skin.
Yeah, it was a hell of a time. We had new chemicals and we were very excited to use them.
Oh,
we were very excited.
So crazy.
Oh,
That's
hey, my name is
terrifying.
Ruin. Hey, my name is Ruin. What did you think of that story on Colt Cabana's podcast? Because he said not that great. And I thought it was a fun story about getting a signature from Steve Blackman. I'm not going to bring it up
Aw.
because it's a wrestling story, and I respect that Ashley will get bored by that, and I don't want to bore
will.
Ashley.
I will get bored.
You know, I'm obsessed right now with I've had a feeling that if COVID fucked up your face somehow, almost no one would have died from it. Like if instead of fucking up your lungs, it gave you like a scar on your face, or it affected the way that you looked to people, people would have stayed home. They would have avoided it. They would have taken it seriously. But because we couldn't see it, there was all these people being like, fucking nothing. But if it made you less attractive or like a noticeable, you'd stand out from the crowd, even if it wasn't less attractive, just like on par but different. I think genuinely we would have had 15 deaths.
Yeah. I think there's probably like, yes, some of that, but I think also it just got so equated with the flu very quickly, that people were just like, it's just a bad flu. And so I think that just diminished it.
But
so
I think that
much.
was their way of being able to pass it off. They were just looking for a reason not to take it seriously, and because they couldn't see it, someone handed them the flu. They would have taken any other thing.
Yeah,
but
I
they
guess
just took it
so.
on. And I think it's the same with the environment. It's like if acid rain burned your face just a little bit,
Yeah,
we would have fucking knocked those chemical companies on the head, man.
See, I haven't gotten face, but I said if they can prove that COVID affects your boners, watch every dude who's like, fuck that vaccine, to being like,
yeah,
a boner. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Brother. The other thing that was very fascinating about COVID, which like we all lived through and are continuing to live through, which I always will think back is, and I only saw this referenced on my beloved Frontline News. By the way, they are now putting just the daily news broadcast from PBS on YouTube. I don't know if that's available other places, but if you want just a nice down the barrel and actual reporting on things like the war in Yemen, actual reporting on a variety of different conflicts that have nothing to do with the US or the West, but are very much part of our world, a great resource for that. And they made the great point, which was Trump inadvertently broke the golden rule, which is you never made public health issues overtly political, because the understanding always was, once you do that, it's too easy to create a war of ideas or a war of culture around that, because science is so murky and historically takes time to play out. And they were basically like, that will be his legacy, is we will be dealing with this for 50 years until someone comes in and goes, I'm the science guy on the right. And it was such a and I remember it was like in April, I was watching that being like, oh shit. And they're like, this will never be undone. And you're like, then, and it never will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the matter, Chris?
Oh, I'm just, the chat isn't updating on here.
Oh, I was thinking it was just gone a bit quiet for a moment, but
Yeah, no, I noticed it had been a few minutes, and then I just checked the channel, and there's a bunch of comments in here.
Oh.
That's weird.
Oh, StreamYard, aren't you being a little piece of shit?
Yeah. So sorry, guys. We're not ignoring your comments. They just literally weren't showing up.
I've moved over to the other guy, and then
that's disappointing.
So he said, let's catch up. My name is Ruin. Said he liked your story. The Mr. Blackman detail was nice.
Oh, that's nice. I mean, yeah, Mr. Blackman. A new form of great. Oh, we see it, Patty Pad Man. We see what you're doing. Also, it's oh my god, the stream is live. I can see it.
Yeah,
I don't like because it's seeing us a few moments ago.
A few seconds later, yeah.
I don't want to be seen a few seconds ago. That's awful.
It's very disconcerting.
I don't like that Kirsten messaged Jalita. What does that mean? Where did Chris go?
Where did Chris go? He's probably left and come back to see if it fixes the chat for him. Guarantee. That's what he's doing.
It's so scary. I wonder if that does fix it. Or maybe that is it.
Yeah, we'll do it one at a time if that is the fix.
So, Ashley, are there any smoldering silver fox professors in your program? I'm picturing one guy, Scottish guy, Fergus, big beard, thin, from hiking, owns a tremendous dog. Say things like, "Oh, Ashley, no."
I wish that was the case.
What do we have?
I'm actually a lot of them. It's a very female-dominated field, which is nice. And I really enjoyed my seminar tutor for the first couple of weeks. She was great. And then some of the lectures have been really good. My lecturer for my pedagogies course is.
Can you, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, stop using words I don't know the meaning of.
I'm sorry. Pedagogies is methods of teaching, essentially. It's how you implement knowledge into a classroom, I guess. Yeah, it's just pedagogies are teaching practices, essentially. I don't really know how else to describe it, but basically this is the course where I learn the curriculum for my subject. So I have to learn and I really have to learn the curriculum for Chris can't get back in.
Are you seeing the chat?
Yeah. I'm too giddy about that now to keep.
I'm laughing at that.
talking.
I'm also laughing at David Hoare's. My sister used to pedagogy in uni and they never cleaned up. Also, let's just talk about the fact that when I described Fergus, sometimes Switches just dropped a classic. Oh my God, I think it just came back in, sort of. Damn it, Steven. Yeah, it just came back in. Where's the Fergus? Where is this Fergus?
Everybody's enjoying Fergus.
Oh, Steven, absolutely.
You know what? I
used to call myself Bai, but now I say I'm Pan.
That's a great accent, actually. It took a moment for me to fully hear it.
I can almost do a Scottish one. I can almost get there, yeah.
I can't do accents at all.
You're doing one right now.
That is just my voice. Thank you very much.
Oh no! Now we're losing Ashley. Now is Ashley's back.
Good.
You're back.
Am I back?
Yeah, thank God. Because if you weren't here, then it would just be me and Fergus. Fergus, how are you doing? Oh, and then it's just that. Now it's just now I'm a shitty comedian from the '90s. You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, me and my friend from Ireland. I'm from Ireland, and you're like, ugh.
That's not the worst one. That is not the worst Irish accent you just did. But anyway, basically, I'm frustrated with the lecturer on this course. He doesn't seem to understand how to put the materials online. He set us a group assignment at 6 o'clock on a Friday evening for 1 o'clock on a Monday.
Hello, Ashley. It's me, your favorite actor, Michael Caine, and I just wanted to let you know that I find that very inappropriate. You know what I usually do?
Very inappropriate, right, Michael?
I agree. That's right.
You give him a good talking to.
I certainly will. I'll walk in and be like, hello, I'm Michael Caine, and I'm from Elephant and Castle, which is, you would think, near a zoo or by a castle, and it is not. It's by a large roundabout and houses the next up comedy offices that were carpeted but always had leaky pipes when I visited. I mean, by me, I mean John Hastings, my friend.
Where is Chris? Is he just fully locked out?
Thank you, Chris. I think the impression is so good it's now taken over the stream.
Yeah. I'm a bit distracted. Oh, I did. So some of my class, because my course is all online, which is another kind of challenge. I like some of it. I dislike some of it. But we had one lecture, and this is like a 400 strong lecture. This is the whole education course. And so we got divided off into working groups, just random people I've never met before, 4 of us in a little Zoom call, 5 of us maybe. And one of them was really attractive, and I made the mistake of not getting his name. So I can't stalk him. But he's a business teacher.
Is he?
He was very attractive.
Would you sleep with a teacher?
I mean,
at your university?
I mean,
no judgment.
No. But you just said, "Would you sleep with?" to me. I mean, at university, yeah. If I'm working in a school, that's maybe a bit different.
Have you done it?
No.
Here's the interesting. I was a TA the year after I graduated, and I taught improv because the theater school wanted an improv module, so I taught it for them because I had a bunch of training. And one student saw me at a comedy show.
You didn't.
I absolutely did not.
Oh, good. Okay.
But like made a hard play, and I was just like, and I was like 21 and not good in that area at all. Lacked a lot of confidence, got very confused and bewildered. And it was one of those ones where I was like, this just feels wrong.
That is so the opposite of me at 21. Oh dear, Chris is properly not able to get back in.
Something went wrong. Well, here's the question though, Chris. Are you connected to the internet?
Well, he must be.
I mean, this is the funniest thing. I slept with 2 technicians.
Two
It's fun. This is coming in
technicians.
from sometimes Twitches in the chat for the people on the audio podcast. I slept with 2 technicians. It's fun, and I graduated with a way better grade in the end, and neither of them were in charge of my grade. I love how that's structured.
I like that a lot.
What the hell? I mean, I don't want to end the broadcast.
No.
So Chris could get back in because that makes no sense because we only have 20 minutes left. I've tried to sign in a bunch of times.
Maybe you've tried to sign in too many times and it's just not happy with you anymore.
Well, Ashley, you and I will set sail for 18 more minutes of classic stream.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Chris saying he will chip in from the chat.
Patty Pat. No, I don't think she did that. I'm saying, are you Will Duggan Boomstickery? Is that who you are?
Will Duggan did that too, yeah. For podcast listeners, Boomstickery has commented that he was teaching assistant in an autism and behaviorally challenged school. That was quite a hard word for me to say. Behaviorally.
Happy we are diagnosing and helping people with autism cope in society, because in my lifetime that went from not a thing, like, and I then went into stand-up comedy, an industry rife with people gagging for a diagnosis. Like, so many of them, you're just like, please go get diagnosed with
something.
There's something clearly wrong. The level of rage you're having because I have to pull a gig 6 months out because someone is dead makes no sense. It's insane.
No, it is definitely good. I mean, I've recently had a few instances of getting annoyed at people and then them telling me that they've been diagnosed with ADHD. And it actually, like, I don't know if this is an insensitive thing to say, but it has helped me a lot, really, because I am really bad with paranoia and social anxiety. And so every time people don't respond to me, or like I feel like I have to chase somebody to be a friend of mine, I feel like that person hates me and I get really low on myself. But I mean, it's never just about that one person either. It's always been that it's happening from a few different directions with a few different people. But yeah, so there's been, I've had one friend, one of my closest friends, she's had ADHD, and I've been friends with her for so long that I've learned where I stand with her really well. But now when I have found out that a few other people that I know have it, I'm like, oh, I can just relax now. And I just know that I have to basically admin our friendship just a tiny bit more than maybe anyone else. And it's very nice.
It's one of those things where I think that, like, the moving this of something that it's on you, that's something that can be cured and worked through, which is, I was very lucky in that I was raised in a very supportive environment for someone who had a bunch of learning difficulties, and I was never made to feel other from it. It was exactly sort of your experience on the other side of it, which was I was made to just feel accepted and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the private, because I got very scared because you were like, I was like, why are you typing in the it feels like private chat typing. What are you seeing that I'm not seeing? And then, oh, that's so nice.
For the viewers and listeners, there was something that I told John about recently that I was upset with, and I've just told him that actually that was one of the things I've just been describing, and it had a very nice resolution in the end. Very, very nice.
It's so nice, by the way. I also realize about myself is being
Chris, we're sorry. You also know the story that I'm talking about, and I will tell you what it is after the stream.
It involved a bit of the old. Well, oh, by the way, this is something I forgot about until I was at lunch with my dad 2 hours ago. This is not something you ever. Yes, Chris absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah,
you got it. I still can't do it properly because you guys seem to be able to bend your front finger backwards. I can't do that.
No, but it's you're just bending it from this portion right here. Just
that's still not normal.
Well, listen. Yeah. Chris is doing it alone in his room.
Oh no, Christopher.
Adventure. All right, so now
we know that can fit though.
Oh.
I got carried away. I became a 12-year-old boy for a brief moment.
This is a nightmare.
Last time I was with a friend doing weird hand gestures, he snapped the tendon off the bone.
Right? There's something about, by the way, and I've now lived.
I'm never going to try and do that thing again. ADHD diagnosis in my mid-30s. I'm still trying to understand it, and the meds have a bad effect on me, so I don't take them. I'm happy to just admit that my brain is a mess. Feels better than thinking I'm just a loser. Yeah, it's really nice to just have something that you can just understand more. It may not change anything, but at least you can understand it.
Let fly. Sometimes switches.
That's absolutely what we're doing. Oh my God! Stop it.
Right, I am not touching it now.
That's what we're doing, Chris. We are questioning the fatness of it. That was so funny.
I think Chris's penis has often been described as Kate Moss, thin and bony.
Oh no.
Yeah, my question exactly. It's actual fatness, quite thick. Oh, the expert is here. Yeah, Beardy Noise. You got good ass, very prominent veins. Wait, what?
You met Kate Moss.
Tell the story now. All right, let me say this about Kate Moss. I remember when she appeared with her boob in silhouette, and it was placed in a magazine called Bazaar, which is like a ladies' lifestyle magazine that for some reason
I know what Bazaar is.
My elementary school kept stocked, and that magazine was immediately stolen by my friend Shane's older brother Jason. And we were not old enough to know what pulling that pud was. And I remember as soon as I figured out what masturbation was, I was like, oh, that's what Jason was doing with this magazine.
Do you? Oh no, I'm not going.
Ask the question. I can decide. Go on.
Do you know what was that?
I was summoning your question like it was a dog. Come here, question. No. Bad.
Oh, I'm going to regret asking this question, but do you remember how old you were when you started masturbating?
Absolutely. I was 12. I don't know if it was 12 or 13. I could tell you. I have to go back and figure it out. I'm going to put something in the private chat that I'm not sharing because it's in a joke, but this is
Chris coming in from the chat with 11. No.
Yeah.
Is there a relation?
They're absolutely not. One happened, and I found out about the other almost immediately. I'm putting this in.
Oh, okay. It happened before you knew.
The problem is it's been so long now, I don't know which came first. I think I'm okay, but I at this point I'm very suspect. I'm very suspect of it.
It's so weird that you have like an event to tie that to. It's such a
And by the way, I'm not trying to keep this from the chat. If you come and see whatever will end up being my next Edinburgh touring festival show,
you got to pay for this joke.
This bit was right there, and it is a molto bene. Yeah.
Oh no.
Steve. Oh, this is for his ADHD diagnosis. For 1 second, I was like, "Is this Is this something else?
Mhm.
You went on 9/11?
Oh, I'll let you do it. I won't do it anymore. It's
Wait,
not
what?
that.
I don't know if I did. I know.
No, but as in, it's not. He's on the right track.
Well, buddy, it's been forever. You will hear the story in 2022. I was guessing what you said. It's interesting. I was learning. This is the fucking thing. The one thing I will say about the American medical system, because you're paying for it, there is such a level of you have to fucking help me right now. Like there is, because like someone can just go, fuck you, I'm not paying. Like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's, by the way, NHS still better.
Yeah.
Like it's not, that one thing is not worth it. It's just very interesting. Oh my God, Chris, why did you do this?
Chris, you've given them notions.
I mean, that is still, because I had a big think about that. Because I was like, it is possible that they may actually, for those of you in the audio chat, by the way, we have something available when you watch it live, which is a private chat, which is a chat where the hosts can communicate. And for now, most of the stream, we've been naming names, revealing very actionable, alleged, supposed true facts about people.
And ourselves.
And ourselves. In like things that are like, oh, if this gets out, we're in sea of ear trouble.
Yeah, we could end our careers if somebody got access to the private chat, pretty much.
I will, in theory, I will be there from November the 16th. I'll be there, maybe going to Scotland. Oh,
ooh! You might get to see two hosts in one room.
Yeah. So in theory, something will be booked.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. And I will be all over the UK. It's going to be a lot of club dates, but please come in and see any of those when they are. I am not going to promote them until I'm physically in the UK for the most part. Where on the East Coast will you be doing shows? Kimmers, is East Coast Edinburgh or is East Coast Glasgow? I never know.
Or do you mean East Coast England?
Yeah, I bet you, but they never use the coast. Scottish people use East and West Coast because it's Glasgow and Edinburgh. English people never do that. They basically, Edinburgh. I will be in Edinburgh. It will be in Edinburgh. The gigs will be in Edinburgh, Scotland. I will be in London. Patty, are you actually in Brazil? Because I am not going to Brazil. Oh, fuck. Pringles.
Oh.
Something else
I'm not a big Pringles. I'm like, I can take or leave them, but it's once you start eating them, they always make me feel sick. They always make me feel really unwell. And my brother, when he was a kid, it was like a proper recipe. If he had Pringles and Coke at the same time, because you go out like cinema and you get treats or whatever, he would just immediately vomit.
Hilarious. I can, by the way,
just says a lot about the chemicals in both of those things.
It's also your poor parents just knowing that they're like, oh, good. This parent doesn't know our kid. I'm going to have to go tell them, don't do that. He's still going to do for fuck's sake.
He got to a point where he realized it for himself and he didn't like them.
I need you to know, by the way, this is, by the way, how everyone feels about Pringles. Like, Pringles are fine. They are the, like, if someone is like, my favorite chip, you're like, what?
Yeah, it's not. It's just when they're there, you eat them, but otherwise, meh. Can't eat bananas and Sprite together. That's fun. I've been, I've had a fruit fly problem. One kid that pukes and one kid that shits their pants. I'm not gonna lie though, I've puked quite a lot too. So
yeah, it's you're not wrong, but it's just kind of, from what I've gleaned to understand, Ashley's childhood was essentially a Gigi Allen gig for 18 years.
I have no idea what that reference
Gigi Allen was a very scatological punk rock
Okay.
singer. He very famously would wet shit in his hand and throw it at the audience, throw up on the crowd.
I would never do that to you.
He put in his will that he was not to be formaldehyded, so that he was in the coffin, and then was like weekend and Bernie's around the funeral home. It was really fucked up.
That's grim. No, that's really grim. But yeah, there was a lot of bodily fluids in my life. Let's just leave it there.
Yeah. You've definitely been shitting and throwing up at the same time.
Yep.
I find it, I have to tell you, as an experience, it's one of the most sort of like, well, this is something I'll never, ever not have done. Like, I will always now know
what that's like.
Around when that happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I came close. I had like, but, and then I was fine. But the idea that you're literally suddenly then about to, you're like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, now put yourself driving a car, because that's when it happened to me.
Oh.
That's not the only time it's happened to me, though.
Would you like to know what I think every time I'm now driving a car? Because I think of that.
You are welcome for that new fear in your life, folks.
Is that what Darby Allin got?
It feels like an exorcism. That's what it feels like. It is. It's like all the demons are being expelled from your body. You simultaneously feel horrendous, but you're like, this is probably going to feel pretty good when it's finished.
What is BUHs? I once got BUHs. I'm already dangerously close. It's whenever I get my hands, which is just great. I don't know what that means.
I have no idea what a BUH is.
Yeah. Have you ever had the colonoscopy enema? No, that's a cleanup. I never have. I have thought about going for a colonoscopy or an enema. Yeah.
Blech. That noise?
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah. Have you ever retched from your asshole? Like, you've shot yourself so much that there's no more shit, but your whole asshole is still, like, trying to retch. I'm sorry.
No.
That is the level of diarrhea I have dealt with.
What?
Driving asshole, exactly.
Your asshole?
That can happen because your body, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, folks. I really am.
Kimmersby was almost murdered by the sun. Taxi. I miss
sunstroke
Chris.
Is no joke. Sunstroke is horrific.
You know, people come
I
here
passed
to this
out
for the
and
real
pissed myself from
hardcore-
sunstroke.
What are you talking? What? No, that's you. We need Chris back.
Well,
because
fix his internet then.
I feel like a bully. You cannot. No one gets sunstroke, pisses themselves, and passes. At some point, that's a thing you do.
Yeah.
When you're just in distress. And
my body fully panics. Like I don't have control over my like.
I'm gonna say it, Ashley.
Yeah.
Your body is an asshole.
My body's an asshole.
You're allergic to tannins and consciousness.
Yeah. Basically a squid. What?
Yeah. Explain that.
Explain that, please. That's Chris coming in from the chat. He said, I think it's very funny that Ashley is basically a squid, which neither of us understands. Is Ashley's body a retching asshole? Yes,
Certainly
it is.
is. Patty
yes,
Pat
it
Man.
is.
Coming from Patty Pat Man is Ashley's.
My body has just been.
Oh,
my
yeah.
body has just been absolutely destroyed through illness and medication. So it just doesn't work very well anymore.
Here's my question: when your asshole retches, and I think I can agree with everyone. Is it like, do you feel the actual, like does it go like this, like, or does it just sort of feel like it's sort of like it's like a fart, but there's no product to it?
I don't really know what you meant by the first one.
Is it like just sort of goes like?
It's kind of like that. It's really like forceful. And it sort of you get like muscle soreness.
Yeah, thank God you came back for the retching asshole portion of the program.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're a yucky
Has your
girl.
asshole ever retched? Have you ever retched out of your asshole? Disgusting. Shame.
I'm sorry.
That
Ridiculous. So the squid
good
thing.
Fun.
What's
squid
the
thing
squid thing?
Is your body panics and then it goes, get it out of me. Bah!
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's actually very accurate. Yeah.
Your ink is just every liquid in your body. And
Yeah,
it's
pretty
all
much.
your holes.
So,
Yeah.
Chris,
I like that.
where were we? What do you think happened?
Wait, what?
Where were you? What happened? What do we think happened to cause that?
Oh, I know what happened. It was Google Cloud was down. And so it just wasn't letting anything in. And that's the same reason that the chat wasn't doing it.
Ah, okay.
But then when I signed back in this time, it didn't have that message. So they must have fixed the problem. So we're back in.
Cool.
At
least didn't kill the stream.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. I guess it was one of those like once you're on,
Mhm.
you're okay. But
Here's my
all the walls
question:
came
what are
up.
your thoughts on Gigi Allen?
Whenever someone says that Gigi Allen is one of their major influences, it's just
it's
a
a
good sign
run-
that you
run away.
don't hang out with that person.
Okay.
It's a very useful red flag. It's like people that love Ayn Rand. You go, all right, well, see you later. I'm sure whatever you're
Beardy
about to do
Noise
is exciting.
Beardy Noise posted
you later.
this in Chatstifer, which is someone else is like rewriting Ayn Rand as if she did other things.
Yeah, so we were talking about Ayn Rand on the stream this afternoon because she was an answer to one of the clues, and it wasn't what is this fucking monstrous hag's name? Because I would have just
Yeah.
said Ayn Rand.
Cunt,
But,
Russia, Ayn Rand.
Yeah. But no, it was something else. But yeah, he said I haven't read it yet, but he put that up, and we were just saying that Ayn Rand is just such a useful red flag.
Hmm.
You know,
it's like the
such
song
an
"My Way"
easy.
by Frank Sinatra.
As soon as they go, hey, I've read this. Have you read this? And you go, I have, but I'm not talking to you. Sweet, see ya.
I know one person who has read it, one person, and took away an artistic analogy. Everyone else sees politics. Sorry for the yawn.
I yawned
Well,
because
it's-
you yawned.
Do you mean Atlas Shrugged or The Fountainhead?
The one that is about the two creators, the one that goes corporate and the one that does what he wants, and the one that goes corporate becomes very rich but is unfulfilled, and the one that is very
That's The Fountainhead.
That's Fountainhead.
Yeah, The Fountainhead is supposed to be actually a pretty good book. I haven't read that one. I read Atlas Shrugged because it was the one that everyone talked about in my classes, and it's a nightmare. It's got 42-page political screeds on it that are wild, absolutely wild, just raving nonsense. And in the end, all the rich people escape to the mountains to build little trains, while all the poor people kill each other in the cities. They just disappear. They just live in the woods. And they make their little trains. And they have their little.
That's most political literature, though, right?
It
Not
was
Noam
fucking
Chomsky, baby.
Wild. No, Noam
Not
Chomsky,
Noam Chomsky.
stays.
Yes,
Okay.
stays and is very dry.
But
His
that's
books
that
are
is
dry.
that's very like when people want to represent the rich abandoning the poor. That's a very
Yes.
common thing.
It should be clear that I assume I have not read any Ayn Rand because I have eyes and I love them. But I assume it's not a warning, but more of a, and this is the plan, fuck the poor.
Yeah.
And it was overtly, this one guy basically spends the whole time sneaking rich people out of society before it collapses. And then like, oh, where are all the rich people going? Well, poor people, specifically unions, don't work and only complain at all. All they want is things that they're not owed, and they're whiny. While these rich people just disappear with all this money that they've stolen, and then live like peasants. That's it. They just live in little huts in the mountains. One of them runs a little train. One of them has a little foundry. One of them runs a little farm. and they trade gold for hard work, and everything's fine. It's a fucking loser Noah's Ark weirdo situation.
Listen, I like Bobetti, exactly like an evil Schindler.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it right now. I don't really care for Ayn Rand. But if you are looking for a political tome that I found to be life-changing, Noam Chomsky's On Anarchism, also published sometimes as On Anarchy or Anarchy, absolutely mind-melting. It took me 5 years to read a book this thin because I had to look up pretty much every word. And yes. Yeah. And it is absolutely amazing and changes how you should feel about democracy and all facets of political life. The one problem, and I say this whenever we're recommending anything philosophical or political, Noam Chomsky, I do like a lot of things that Noam Chomsky says. I find him to be dry and quite frankly very annoying in interviews. I find him to be very much the worst representation of himself when he publicly speaks, because I just want to kick him in his head. I want to now shut up.
Really? Oh, yes. I like him.
I like him too. I do not think I think he should be in a mountaintop throwing his writing out. I do not like him as a fucking writer because he does a thing to frame his arguments, which is a you. And I always want to be like, hey, no, I just fucking got here. You're 80. But when he's writing, he's not. He's just reporting on it.
Okay. I don't know. When I look at him, I look at a guy who's been the smartest guy in the room for so long that he just doesn't care anymore. And I find that very funny.
I hear what you're saying. Ashley is quite rightly literally about to fall asleep.
So
because
tired.
We started debating Noam Chomsky.
Look at this.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know anything about Noam Chomsky, so I just don't really have much
because you're fun. You know what you are? You're not in your 30s yet, so you don't have to know who Noam Chomsky is. When you're 30.
Oh, act like you only just started reading Noam Chomsky, John, and you didn't have one when you were in your silly Billy No phase.
I didn't. Absolutely
No,
not.
really?
I couldn't. No.
Chomsky's exactly for that guy.
I was reading Ibsen. Oh, if that guy had gotten politically aware. Oh, what so many.
I have a book that I was recommended when I was in my critical thinking course.
I really hope you're about to just show us Motley Crue's The Dirt.
No, I haven't actually read it yet, but it's meant to be a very philosophical book. And I haven't gotten around to it yet because it is quite frankly enormous.
Yeah,
it's huge. And it's a book called Black Lamb and Grey Falcon.
Oh, that book looks impenetrable.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's a journey through Yugoslavia.
Oh my
God. Jesus Christ.
This sounds like the setup to a play Niles is going to see in Frasier.
Yeah, it's but it's a book that my lecturer recommended as being like game changing for for how you see the world and stuff. So I got it saying I will read it eventually, but I haven't gotten there yet. But it is I will get there. Yeah, I will.
I've got one that I recommend. It's small, it's super readable. It's by a historian called Timothy Snyder, and it's called On Tyranny. And it's fucking great. It's super readable, and it just recontextualizes, just sort of reminds you what democracy is supposed to be, and how you fit within it.
Interesting.
It reinvigorated my desire to be a citizen.
Ooh,
not a patriot, but a citizen. On Tyranny by Timothy Snyder. I will put it in the chat.
I have got it.
I need to stop buying. Oh, there it is right there. Let's see how much it is. Oh
I just added it to my wish list.
Nice.
It's $5.
And it's great. He's a very smart, very interesting, very erudite man.
How many books do people have on the go at a time? I have only ever really been able to read a book at a time, but when I was in when I worked in a bookshop, then I was able to read 2 or 3. Because I think it's when you have one for different contexts. Like I had a book that I would be reading in
Look
the
what you
shop,
summoned, John.
and then I had a book at home. And so because I was reading them in two different places, I wasn't getting confused by them.
Mm.
But that's pretty much the only time I've been able to read more than one book at a time. I used to be able to do it when I could read nonfiction a bit better. The past couple of years, I've been too stressed to read nonfiction. So
yeah, me too.
I could read like a nonfiction. Yeah, I could read like a nonfiction and a fiction at the same time. But I'm so slow lately. The book I'm reading at the moment. I'm just reading so slowly. But I think it's mostly because it's very outside of my cultural context. It's a book about room salon girls in South Korea. And these are basically the very elite brothel women where like they pay millions to get their faces changed so that they can look a certain way for the men who visit these brothels. They get like their jawline filed down and shit. Like it's really gruesome. Like it's so gruesome. It's such a heavy read, but I'm really enjoying it. But I'm just reading it so slowly.
Guys, I'm going to say this right now. We're now talking about how fast we're reading. It's time to stop talking on the internet.
It's time to stop talking.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Untitled
If you
Twitch
say
stream
so.
started.
This is the most engaged I've been all episode.
Ended 5 minutes ago. Now welcome
This
to
is my
Yawn Chat.
I thought my retching asshole was quite engaging. Thank you.
It certainly goddamn was. That's why it only started when fucking old Library Larry fucking came back from the fucking Google jail. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking love books so much.
Yeah. Oh, fuck you. Guess what?
This is how multifaceted our stream is, though. You know, we can go from retching assholes to philosophical books and reading habits. Just
I'm about
like that.
I'm about to propose our raid, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to call that a stream. I'm going to say raid message. Retching assholes.
Oh yeah. Have you ever retched out your asshole?
Any version of, and I say we raid Colt Cabana because he will not like that.
Oh, he'll be so mad.
Yeah. Okay.
I have it set up. Shall
Do
we?
me a favor though. Maybe change the raid message to Ashley's retching asshole. He might enjoy it a bit more.
Nice.
Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to head on
fucking
over.
Horn dog. Jesus.
Chris or Ashley, do you want to bring up the ending screen? I'll start the raid.
On it.
Guys, we will see you tomorrow.
See you guys. Have a great one. Say hi to Cole. Ashley's retching asshole.
And that's all. Penis into her vagina. And that's all. And that's called sexual intercourse. Some people call it having sex. So the